viral video as Mike Ozekhome, the former legal counsel of Mazi Nnamdi Kalu, which is one of his lawyer. He said the man now, as they preach one Nigeria for this particular video, now some Biafrans will raise with comment. Some say this na the person where they defend the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and now they still preach one Nigeria. How is he going to defend Mazi Nnamdi Kalu? My people, I'll go play you the video, may you watch and share the video immediately.
Not energizing. It is not aggregative. I, as a humble, patriotic pan-Nigerian, I've always looked at these issues from that Nigerian perspective, how we can make our country better than it is now. Which was why, Mr. President, sir, as far back as Wednesday, 2nd of July, 2014, that's 10 years ago, at the plenary session of the National Conference, National Confab, I moved the motion for the change of our national anthem back to the one of 1960 on our independence. That motion was hotly debated by the 492 delegates at the National Confab, drawn from every spectrum of the Nigerian society. And it was carried. And indeed, nostalgically, the entire plenary session stood up and sang the old national anthem. So, bringing it back is well overdue. It has better lyrics in context and content, like the Senate President said. It is better than the other one. Indeed, I wrote a book, and my Senate President, I begin to think I'm in a court of law. I wrote a book titled Nigeria, We Hail Thee, 401 pages. And it was launched at that national conference just before we ended in 2014. I have copies here, about 6, one for the Attorney General, and then you take one to the Senate President, and if I carry the rest to him, he now knows who to give to. I don't want to be accused of partiality. And Mr. President, sir, you will see my argument and my views at pages 268 to 271. So it didn't start today. So I therefore think that when we finally get to Canaan land, this body should be able to give some recognition and appreciation to the National Confab of 2014, chaired by late Justice Legbo Kutugi, with Professor Bolaji Akiyemi as the Deputy Chairman of the Confab. Let me say that it was not only the national anthem that I argue should be brought back, but that was the only one that said true. The other two matters I argue should be brought back was that the present Nigerian flag of simply green, white, green is too bland. It's too bland. It is not just in terms of lacking in colors, but it is not inspirational. If you look at some flags like that of the US, with the stripes and then the 50 stars representing the 50 states. If you look at the flag of South Africa, of the UK, you'll be able to see what I mean. The older flag had the rising sun in the center, which shoots to all the directions of Nigeria, north, south, east, and west. Not only that, the present flag is replicated in Norfolk. The only difference is that there is a pine in the center of that one. And indeed, the flag of the AU, African Union, is also the same green, white, green. The only difference is that you will see some tiny indecipherable stripes of yellow inside. I want to also say that coming back to our old national anthem, we will not be doing something different. Indeed, at that conference, I had also put a motion that we should change the name of Nigeria, which appears to be a burden because of the circumstances it came into being. 8 January 1878, when Flora Louisa Shaw, a young British journalist, gave her the name Nigeria after Niger area. But both my proposals for the national, for the flag, and a return to change the name Nigeria from Nigeria to Irene, I made the proposal by reading it from right to left. So instead of Nigeria, let's call it Irene. But that one was shut down. The one of the flag was shut down, but the one of the national anthem was carried. So in the 40s, sir, I will soon round up, there was this debate, or rather a conversation between the great Zik of Africa, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, a great nationalist, unforgettable, and the great Ahmadu Bello, Sardauna of Sokoto. And in the argument, which was about 1942, Zik told Ahmadu Bello, said, let us forget our differences. Ahmadu Bello disagreed. He said, no, Zik, we cannot forget our differences. Let us understand our differences and then know how to move forward. You are Igbo, Easterner, and a Christian. I am Fulani, Northerner, and a Muslim. So we cannot forget our differences. We should rather recognize our differences, see Nigeria as a pluralistic society, appreciate that we are different, and then we move forward. For example, sirs, I am from a minority within a minority, from Ivuku, a tiny village near Agenebode, Esako, East Local Government Area of Edo State. But I do not want to be a Yoruba man, or an Igbo man, or a Hausa man, or a Fulani man, or an Idoma man, Igala man, Urobo man, because God in his infinite wisdom decided to create me from that village, and no one can question God. So you should be able to respect me for who I am and from where I come. Having this national anthem will help us. It has been done before in many countries. Countries that change their old national anthem to new one based on prevailing situations and circumstances. Austria, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Brazil, Bulgaria, Chile, Cape Verde, China, Egypt, France, Germany, Hungary, Iran, Iraq, South Korea, Kuwait, Mozambique, Netherlands, Niger, Pakistan, Portugal, Russia, Romania, Rwanda, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Switzerland, Turkey, USA, Vatican City, Vietnam, Zaire, Zambia, Zimbabwe, etc. At one time or the other, they changed their national anthems. I do agree with my brother here, representing the Honorable Minister, that in changing the national anthem, we should look more holistically at other issues to have a proper national identity. That is where my good friend, the Honorable Attorney General's suggestion also comes in handy. Do we end the debate now? I've always believed in a referendum, a plebiscite of the people. I've crusaded for that every day. Can we do this without the people buying in? The Constitution also comes in here, which is actually the national identity card of a nation, followed by the national anthem. What do you do about the Constitution? I do not agree, sir, that this piecemeal amendment of the Constitution will solve Nigeria's problem. Like Naaman the leper in the Bible, we need to dip ourselves 7 times in the River Jordan of Nigeria's polity to have a brand new constitution, a constitution that is original, indigenous, autochthonous, emanating from the people, because the people have bought in, like we did on the 10th of August 1963, after a plebiscite, when the old Midwest region was carved out of Western region. So we need to look at that constitution, sir. And I've argued again and again that nobody is going to sidetrack the National Assembly, because whether we like it or not, the 109 senators and 360 members of the House of Representatives have come to stay. They do have a role. They have to pass an act to make sure that a new constitution is driven, after which it can be subjected to a national referendum of the people. So we should take all these things holistically so that Nigeria begins to have a full national identity, so that we do not continue to go on a journey to no destination without a compass. So as I end this, sir, looking at the beautiful lyrics and the meaning, I want you to listen to the meaning. Nigeria, we hate you, we greet you, our own dear native land. Our own dear native land. This is our land. We don't have any other. Though tribe and tongue may differ, like Ahmadu Bello conversed with Nnamdi Azikiwe, we accept our tribe and tongue are different. But in brotherhood, we stand. It didn't stop there. Nigerians, all of us, we are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. We are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. The second stanza that Senate leader suggests should be the national pledge. He said, our flag, the flag we are saying should be changed now, shall be a symbol. Can you see the meaning of a flag, the importance? That truth and justice reign. Truth and justice. Remember, conscience is an open wound. Only the truth can heal it. That was what Madam Fodio told us. Truth and justice. Social justice, not peace of the graveyard. Like Emko Abiola will say, we always talk about peace. The kind of peace we need is not the peace of the cemetery or the graveyard, because that place is the most peaceful place on earth. The kind of peace we are talking about is peace that is imbued with respect for one another, peace that brings about egalitarianism, social justice, equity, and good governance. That was how MK Abiola put it. And this national anthem recognizes that we are looking for truth and justice. They must reign. Then, whether we are in peace or in battle, like during the Civil War, because this one will make sure it never comes again. In peace or in battle, honored. And this we count as gain to hand on to who? Our children. What are we handing over to them? A banner without stain. Listen to it. We didn't forget God. We decided to bring God to the epicenter of it all, because we can't do anything without him. We say, oh God of all creation, you created all of us, including me talking. If he says I should drop dead now, that's bye-bye. But I know I will live to 120 years. I will live up to 120 years. That's what Genesis chapter 6 verse 3 tells me 120 years. All of us here will live up to 120 years. Did I hear all of us say amen? Now, he said, "O God of all creation, grant this our one request." One request. What is this one request? Say, help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. Because the feeling of the common man, the Franz Fanon's wretched of the earth, the hoi polloi, is that the big men, all of us sitting down here, have oppressed him. That's what the average person of the street thinks. So we are saying, this flag is saying, no man will be oppressed. Then we need what? And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. So as I wind up, sir, I sing it. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribal tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria so and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Echo. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign, in peace or battle or not, and this we count as gain. To hand or to our children a banner without stain. Finally, O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. God bless Nigeria. God bless the Senate that is producing it. God bless the National Assembly. May we do those things that are right for the nation, that will energize us, that will rejuvenate us, that will rejig us, that will re-engineer us in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Senate President, sir.
This has nothing to do with constitutional amendment at all. That we begin to talk about plebiscite, referendum. This simply has to do something about something that is within the legislative competence of the National Assembly. And it's really, sir, if you look at section 24 of the Constitution, it makes it clear, duties of the citizen. It shall be the duty of every citizen to abide by this Constitution, respect its ideals and its institutions, the national flag, the national anthem, etc. So section 24 of the Constitution recognizes what we are doing today, and that it is within your legislative competence to decide to amend what is the national flag, the national anthem, or other matters like that that are ancillary or antecedent to. So I think therefore that we are on the right path to say that this exercise can go on without necessarily subjecting it to a whole national referendum, which would be a matter for serious constitutional issues like having a new constitution. And I'm also pleased, unlike many other people, that the Senate leader has recognized the role of the 492 delegates at the 2014 National Conference that were drawn from all over the country, including senators here, members of the House of Reps, the judiciary, elder statesmen, elder stateswomen, the physically challenged, the youth, students were there, civil society, police, armed forces, civil service, everybody was there, 492. And we made over 600 recommendations. This is just one of them. And having recognized it and decided to bring it back 10 years after I moved that motion, my heart gladdens like Nostradamus, the man who saw tomorrow. I saw 10 years ahead of what we are doing here today. May I therefore, with all respect, on behalf of stakeholders here who are yearning for a return to the old national anthem, passionately move formally a motion that the Senate, the National Assembly should go ahead on this matter, debate it, and pass a law bringing back the old national anthem. I so move, Mr. Chairman, sir.